Good morning, students. I, Babita Goyal, welcomes you on the online classes of STBA. I hope you must be fine, healthy, and safe at home. And I hope you must have understood the previous chapter which I taught you. Now, today I am going to teach you the poem Wind, which was written by Subramaniam Bharati in Tamil, but it was translated in English by A.K. Ramanujan. Swami Subramaniam Bharati, also known as Bhaktiar, he was a Tamil writer, poet, journalist, Indian independence activist, a social reformer, and a polyglot. He is popularly known as Mahakavi Bharati. He was a pioneer of modern Tamil poetry and is considered one of the greatest Tamil literary figures of all the time. His numerous works included fairy songs, including patriotisms during the Indian independence movement. He was born on 11 December 1882 in the village of Atayapuram to Chinnaswamy Subramaniam Ayers and Lakshmi Amal Subhya as he was named, and went to MDT Hindu College in Tirunelveli. Around the age of 11, he was honored with the title of Bharati, the one blessed of Saraswati, goddess of learning. He lost his father at the age of 16, but before that, when he was 15, he married Chelia Amma, who was 7 years old. During his stay in Varanasi, he was exposed to Hindu spirituality and nationalism. This broadened his outlook, and he also changed his outward appearance too. He also grew a beard and wore a turban due to his admiration of Sikh, influenced by his Sikh friend. In April 1906, he started editing the Tamil Weekly India and the English newspaper Bala Bhartam with M.P.T. Acharya. These newspapers were also a means of expressing Bharati's creativity, which began to peak during his period. During his exile, he had the opportunity to meet many other leaders of the revolutionary wing of the independence movement like Aurobindo Ghosh, Lala Rajpat Rai, and VVS Iyer. He was badly affected by the imprisonment. General amnesty order finally to remove restriction on his movement. Bharati was already struggling, and few months later his health deteriorated and he died on 11 September 1921. He was considered a people's poet, a great nationalist, outstanding freedom fighter, and social visionary. He is considered as one of the pioneers of modern Tamil literature. He used simple words and rhythms. His poetry expressed a progressive reformist ideas. His imageries and the vigor of his verses were a forerunner to modern Tamil poetry in different aspects. He was the forerunner of a forceful kind of poetry that combines classical and contemporary elements. Now, starting with the introduction of the poem, as we all know that wind is being a natural phenomena. Here the poet has been talking to the wind, and he just compared the wind as being destructive, and the poet linked the destructive power of wind with the adversity of life, and just say that the weaker person always being break down if they are being weak, but the stronger being emerges out and flourish. So the important message being given that we should be mentally tough and physically strong to face out all the hardship of our life. So we must also just make the destructive forces our friend, so that we can able to face all this thing with a strength and determination. Now I am just moving with the theme of the poem. In this, the poem has been inspire us to face the challenges or hardship with determination, grit, and courage. If the structure in the path of the wind is weak, then the wind will able to destroy them. So the poet asks or tell the reader to become strong, so that he can able to solve their problem what is been coming on their way. Now I am moving with the first stanza of the poem. Wind comes softly, don't break the shutters of the window, don't shatter the papers, don't throw down the books on the shelf. There look what you did, you threw them all down, you tore the pages of the book, you brought rain again, you are very clever at poking fun at weakling. Now, in the above lines, the poet has been talking to the wind and requesting the wind to just come softly, because he knows if the wind comes strongly, everything can be destroyed. So he has been requesting wind to come softly, gently, and in a subtle way. And he also requests wind not to break the shutters of the window, because if the wind is been coming in a strong way, everything can be destroyed. And he is again requesting not to scatter the papers and not to throw the books that have been lying on the shelf. Now he's been telling the wind, just see, whatever books has been lying there, which has been fallen down, all the pages has been torn down, which means they are not able to read it out. Now, because the wind, these things have been the weak one, so the strong hand had able to destroy them. Now he's been in a accused tone requested the wind to just bring out the rain. But in a powerful way, the rain came and lot of mess has been done, because the rain come through the broken shutters. Now he's been telling to the wind that he's making fun of the weak person. Weakling here means a weak person. Now he's making fun of the weak person because they can't able to protect themselves. So he's been telling that the person, those who are meek, those who have been meek or weak, they must become strong and protect themselves from the harsh of the world. The strong and gusty wind signifies the turmoil and the troubles in life. Now the poet has been telling to the wind, what destruction, just look at it, what destruction he has done it. Whenever the wind has been strong or been powerful, all the weaker ones like small plants, small children, they also get scared, they also fall down and get hurt. So in the initial part of the poem, the poet is referring wind as a small child, because in the first stanza he requested the wind to come softly as the small child does in the beginning. Now he's been referring, as we know, in the later part the wind has been destructive, so he's been comparing to a young youth, because at that time the youth or the young children, they have been full of energy, strength and determination. Now I am moving with the next stanza. Frail crumbling houses, crumbling doors, crumbling rafters, crumbling boards, crumbling bodies, crumbling lives, crumbling hearts. The wind god winnows and crashes them all. He won't do what you tell him. Now I'm just moving with this one. In the above line, the word crumbling has been repeated so many times as he lays stress that the wind is being crumbling everything what is been coming on his path. Means the strong winds been crumbling the weaker ones. Now here the wind is being powerful and very strong, and it leads to the breakage of everything that is been coming on his way. So it crumbles the houses, and it crumbles the doors, rafters, even it crumbles the wooden houses, and it make the bodies fall down of the people, lives and heart of it even fall down. Now everything that is being reacted by or being weak, being reacted by falling down and breaking in the face of the adversity. So the poet has been saying that whenever a weak person faces any adversity or challenges in life, it breaks down and it falls. So all the troubles in life comes as suddenly as the wind, causing destruction and leaving behind the devastation and destruction in the life of the people. The wind god winnows and crushes them all. In this line, the meaning of winnows is to broke grain free of chaff. Chaff means separate grain from husk by blowing on it. Now in this line, the poet is addressing the wind as a wind god, and he has been saying that the powerful god of wind winnows. That means that he shifts the strong people from those people, those who have been weak and fallen down and been crushed. So here there is a comparison between the wheat and the people. As we winnow the wheat and separate the grain from the chaff, the same thing wind god separate the strong people from the weak. When there is been a strong wind, all the things that have been weak get fall and being crushed. Next stanza is, he won't do what you tell him, so come, let's build strong homes. Let's join the doors firmly, practice to form the body, make the heart steadfast. Do this and the wind will be friend with us. Now, in the above line, the poet wants to state that the wind is so egoistic and self-willed that he is not going to listen to any appeal what we are going to tell it. So it depends on us to protect ourselves. We must build a strong structure with firm foundation so the wind can neither harm or penetrate it. In other way also, we must make ourselves physically and mentally strong so to be able to face all the ill effects of the wind. So we must be prepared for all the preparation. We must build strong homes or with the firm doors so that the wind can't able to move inside our houses. Then we have to make our body strong and heart also firm so that we can able to face all the challenges what have been coming in our life. Once we have been strong, then all the challenges will be like a friend and we won't able to be afraid or been thinking that these challenges are being troublesome. If we can do it, then wind can neither frighten or harm us. So wind can become a friend. If we are being strong, we can able to face all the challenges or hurdles what have been coming in our life. But if we are being weak, then we have been surrounded by the strong people, downtrodden and being destroyed by the strong ones. In the last stanza, the wind blows out with weak fires. He makes strong fires roar and flourish. His friendship is good. We praise him every day. Now here the poet kept the wind on a pedestal and he's been comparing wind to God, and he say that wind is God and we praise him every day. He just add that everything what has been coming is been weak, what is being weak get finished off in the face of the wind, and all the thing that is being strong flourish and go to become more stronger. Here important message has been conveyed to us that we should not feel bad to whatever challenges or adversities been coming in our life. We should make ourselves physically and mentally strong to face all these challenges, and because if we are being strong, they will become our friend, and at the last we will feel happy that they make us, they are making us stronger and better. Then he also says, if it can blow the fire that has been weak, and if it will start burning fiercely, then it will make it burn with with a stronger force or more powerfully. The poet concludes that the wind has been a friend to the stronger and the enemy of the weaker ones. So at the last I want to say that the wind is been just telling us that we have to be strong and face all the problems and hurdles in our life. very strongly. Otherwise, if we are being weak, nobody is going to just care for it, and we will be destroyed in that the same manner. So we just request the wind of God to just pray for it and motivate us to just face all the troubles in our life in a very determination form. Now I am just telling you the literary device used in the poem anaphora. When the word is repeated at the start of two or more consecutive lines is being called anaphora. In line 2, 3 and 4 there has been a repetition of don't. Line 6, 7 and 8 repetition of you. Then line 9, 10 and 11 repetition of crumbles. Line 14 and 15 repetition of let's. Now personification. Wind has been personified and has been addressed as a destruction forces of weak things. Line his friendship is good. He won't do what you appeal to do it. Now line 13 and 12 and 13, the wind is been personified as God. Line 18 and 20, the wind is being personified as a friend. Line 21, the wind is being personified as a human being. Alliteration. The repetition of the consonant sound in close connection, wind like wind, winnows and won't and won't. Now symbolism. Symbolism means that the things refer to do some other thing. Wind is a symbol. It refers to the challenges in life. He is using wind as a symbol for the adversity in our life. Metaphor. The whole poem is a metaphor as it ends on a note to a humanity to stand against all revenges, natural and man-made. Now children, at our last I want to just say, if you are being strong, you can able to overcome all the problems in your life. So we must make ourselves strong. This is the central message of the poem. When the wind blows, it causes destruction only to the weak thing that comes in his path. And if the structures along the path is being strong, the wind can't able to blow them away. So the wind is a symbol of problems and obstacles in our life, which we have to face without fear. So if we are being strong, then wind will be our friend, and we must be friend with the wind, an obstacle to cope with the hard situation. Now I want to say that we should make our mind and body strong. We should face our problems boldly and stay firm in the hard situation. Unless we fight with the hardship or the problems, we cannot expect success. Now children, I hope you must have understood this poem very nicely and carefully, and I just expect to remain safe at home. Thank you so much.